Bethany Manctalo here. Welcome to our Millwall fan show with some new voices, but the same focus. Just everything Millwall. Enjoy!
Hello and welcome to the 2025-26 series of Millwall's No One Likes Us Talking's, our Millwall fan show. I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me are the No One Likes Us Talking team of Jeff Burnige.
Evening.
Ted Robinson.
Hello, Myles.
And Stan Godwin.
Hello.
Not everybody likes them, but they don't care.
Well, it was a great result at both Carrow Road and Rodney Parade. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But first off, let's hear from our sponsors, G&M Motors.
Hi, this is Jess Tuffield from G&M Motors. Operating from a modern and purpose-built facility in Milton Road, Gravesend, G&M Motors offers a complete range of new Honda cars and services. As well as new Hondas, we have an extensive range of used cars, including ex-Motability cars from a variety of manufacturers. Specialising in new Honda cars, G&M Motors has been retailing quality new and used vehicles to the people of Kent and South East London for over 4 decades. We have been a Honda dealership since 1972 and are the country's longest serving supplier of this renowned marque. Conveniently sited just 2 miles from the A2, 10 miles from the M25 and Dartford Crossing, visitors to our showroom are assured a warm welcome from our experienced and friendly staff. Our facilities include an on-site workshop capable of providing full vehicle servicing and repairs, as well as an extensive parts department offering genuine Honda parts and accessories. The expertise of our skilled mechanics is not limited to just Hondas, but extends to most makes and models of motor vehicles. Whatever your motoring needs, visit us at G&M Motors today. The newly extended hours of our G&M headquarters means that you can contact us from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Saturdays. To contact us, call us today on 01474 365 026.
Thank you, Jess. Debbie Julian's here. Don't forget to call Jess on 01474 81 3562. G&M Motors have been dear friends with the Julians family for over 4 decades now. From my dad Lenny to me, Debbie, Lions together.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us Talking team of Jeff Burnige, Ted Robinson and Stan Godwin. Many thanks to our sponsors, G&M Motors. Why not check the Hondas out and see what else they have on site at Gravesend? Often compared with the performance of a renowned battery, his energy has no limits. You know who it is, as he makes his debut on the show this season. It's the Millwall Community Trust CEO. Welcome, Sean Daly.
Evening all.
Evening, Sean.
Well.
Evening, Sean.
All right, Sean.
Good evening, everyone. I'm good, you?
Evening, Sean. All good.
Sean, we're delighted to have you join us once again on the show. Is it too early to talk about the Santa Dash? Probably. But 3 potential Santas are here tonight with you. Firstly, congratulations, a gold award from the government for the Millwall Community Trust commitment to payroll giving. Can you tell us a little bit more about this?
Yeah, sure. So it's a project run by the government, and what it asks is people that they donate some of their salary. You know, it could be £5, £10 a month to a local charity. And some of my employees do that. So some give the money back to Millwall Community Trust and some donate it to other charities. So it's just really a way of my staff giving back to local communities. And I mean, already some people give it to the Community Trust. So we have that already, so which is good.
Amazing.
Sean, it's Stan here. We had an out-and-out Millwall fan, Grace Spicer, on the show last week. What an inspiration she is with her Muay Thai fighter successes. I have noticed that some of our lionesses, lions, as well as the likes of Brian King, Margaret Mizzen and the boxer Chris Congo, attended MCT events. How important is it to get role models involved in your programs from within the community?
Very much so. You know, we engage with 14,500 people, mostly young people, and they need to have role models. You know, they need to have people that have come from the local community, been to the same youth centres as them, been to the same schools, and then to see their journeys and see what they can achieve. So I think it's very important. We've got people like Chris Conger, who lives at the bottom of Burnige, gone on to become a European champion boxer. Brian King, gone on to become a football and a legend. And then you've got Margaret, who, through all the work she does in the local community, inspiration. So it's really important for us to have role models, not just footballers, but all different people from the community, and give these aspirations to these young people. Kids have dreams and they can see people that look like them, talk like them, but then achieve things as well. So very important, I think it is.
100% agree with you, Sean. Hi, Sean, it's Ted here.
Hi, Ted.
It says here I've already started my prep for Santa's Dash. Now, that's a lie. I'll have to have words with Eamon. I'll have to have words with Eamon, but I will definitely try to make it this year, mate. I will try.
Thank you. Thank you.
I noticed Mike George is launching his book, Walk the Walk, at the Lions Centre ahead of our game on Saturday. Perhaps we can get Mike to join in as well with everything. But I must say that having a facility like yours is a great location to hold events, both pre-match and from our experience at other times. Beyond that, how have the summer camps activities in Southwark, Lewisham and Sevenoaks gone this year?
Yeah, first of all, we're very lucky to have a facility like the Lions Centre, and when people come there and see like an indoor football pitch, sports hall, classrooms and that, they're blown away that a football club has those sort of things. And of course, it becomes a place during the school holidays for young children to come. We're roughly seeing about 900 children a week at the moment for the 6 weeks, and that's over 3 venues. That's at the Lions Centre, St Paul's at Fisher, and the Rocky and Righty down in Lewisham. But we're doing very well. They're all sold out. All our courses are sold out this summer, but the same as always, we don't charge kids to come on our courses. They're free of charge, and we provide food for them, a hot meal. So it's going really well. But, that's what a football club's about. It's about helping those families that during those school holidays when they haven't got access to school and those free school meals, how can we support them? So, no, it's very good at the moment, very good. And we're still going to be having, 900 right up to the last week in August.
Hi, Sean. This is Jeff Burnige. How are you?
I'm good, Jeff. How are you?
Brilliant. Thanks. Enjoying the summer, and I will get down to St Paul's and the Lions Centre before the end of the month. Haven't done it yet.
Brilliant.
I've been away, but I'm so pleased it's doing so well. 900 kids a week, sold out, free of charge. When the community scheme first started, we did things free of charge. I'm so glad to hear that we can still do that with funding in the summer. It's absolutely brilliant. I saw a headline stating that you have over 90 partners involved in delivering your activities. That was last year's figure, I think. That's a massive engagement. What makes these collaborations appealing to partners when working with you and the MCT?
I've always been about, wherever I've been, I've always been about that we don't work in silo. Working in partnership with other organisations, whether it's charities or whether it's companies, is going to make you a stronger product. It gives you that sustainability. It also gives you more workforce. And I think it's important that companies have got things that they want to do in the local community, but haven't got the vehicle to do it. They haven't got the engagement. They haven't got the badge of a football club.
Yeah.
So them teaming with us, they get that access to the community they want. It's very different from, I had a meeting with the NHS the other week, and, they find it very hard to engage with people on the street, when they're going to talk about no smoking or a project like that. But you turn up in a tracksuit, a Millwall tracksuit, people will come and talk to you and say, oh, did you see the game last night? And then once you've got that, you then say, well, have you thought about, giving up smoking, or have you thought about your health? Have you thought about this? And I think having a trusted brand like Millwall that's trusted in the community, you're going to make that engagement straight away. And that's what partners want. They struggle to engage with people, and then you've got a vehicle like Millwall that can do it straight away.
That's fantastic. Yeah, brilliant.
And we're very choosy, Jeff, about, what partners we go. They've got to be aligned with what we do. We're not in that position where we chase money. We don't need to chase money. It's more about the impact that we do. So we've got to make sure that we're in line with the partners that are going to benefit the community. And that's what we're very choosy with that.
So what is a typical day at St Paul's, for example? What happens there on an average day during the summer?
Yeah, so my staff will get there. We've just had a new pitch relaid there. We've just had new goals. Yeah, we've just had new goals put in as well. So that's mini goals and the new 11-a-sides. We just had new dugouts put in, so it really looks nice. It does up there. Typical day would be my coaches turn up about 8:30, set up the pitches ready for the children. Children will arrive around 10, register. In would come the children up. Parents would be encouraged in to leave, and then we would set about doing all sort of skills with the children, whether it's football, multi-sports, etc. That will do skill-based, and then around 12 o'clock, hot dinner would arrive. They'd have their dinner, and then from sort of about 12:30 to 2 o'clock, we'd put on a football tournament where all the children would be involved in it. And then at sort of like 2:30, the children would leave. They would get fruit as they're leaving and water. Any meals that are left would be given to the parents, and then we'd clean up and then be ready for the next booking that comes in at 4 o'clock.
The fact that it's the free school meals again, from what you just said, I take it they're free. That is absolutely fantastic. It's something that I'm so proud of. But what about, what age groups, and is it boys and girls that you get there at St Paul's?
Yeah.
What age groups though?
Yeah, so we're going 5 till 12-year-olds on the first session. Then at 4 o'clock we do 13s up to 16s, exactly the same programme. We do that 4 till 6, so we hit the teenagers as well. And then they have a hot meal that's provided. For us, it's, we had Southwark Council come to visit us last week, and they said we're the biggest provider they've got, and we got like class star A for it.
Fantastic.
Superb stuff.
It's something that, I want the fans to be proud of. It's something that, that's probably our flagship out of all the projects we do. And it's the one that, I hang my hat on, because I think it's so important to the community. And I wonder if we weren't there as a club doing it, what would happen to those young people and families. So
definitely. Sean, before you go, we've obviously got Ted's Prediction League. Could you share your forecast for 3 championship scores? At the end of the season, we'll discover who has the best score predicting skills among the guests and hosts, and there'll be a prize, apparently. Over to you, Ted.
Was there a prize last season? I didn't get it.
That's because you didn't win it.
Neither did I, Sean, and I won it, and it's my game. But there you go.
Okay, so the winning, I'll put the prize up. The winning prize is a place at the Santa Dash. Brilliant. Right, where we go then, Sean, is this week's scores for is what I should be giving to you now. Obviously, the starter is Millwall versus Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough got beaten during the week, didn't they? 4-0. So I'm going to go the way I thought we played well against Norwich. I'm going to go 2-0 Millwall.
Not a bad choice, that. And secondly, we have Derby at home to Coventry.
Now we've drawn them in the League Cup, I'd like to see them sliding down a few games and losing. So 1-0 Derby.
I'll go along with that. And finally, poor old Sheffield Wednesday, although they put up quite a fight last week, they're at home to Stoke.
I'm going to vote for them to win, because I would like them to win and turn everything around. So 1-0 to Sheffield Wednesday.
You and me both, Sean. Thanks a lot, mate.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Sean, thank you very much for coming on the show. It's really inspiring to hear about the work that the Millwall Community Trust do. And of course, we wish all you and yours all the best. Take care, mate.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for all your support.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Bye.
Cheers, Sean.
Thank you.
Amazing interview there with Sean Daly, the CEO of the Millwall Community Trust. We'll take a break there and hear from Bethany Manxlow.
Before Millwall's first home game on August the 16th, Mike George, a guide on the Isle of Dogs Millwall history tours, will introduce his book, Discovering the History of Millwall Football Club, at the Millwall Community Trust's Lions Centre on Ballina Road, starting from midday. Everyone who buys a signed copy will be supporting a great cause, as a donation will be made to the Millwall Community Trust with each purchase.
Thank you very much, Bethany. I'm your host, Myles, Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us Talking team of Stan Godwin, Ted Robertson and Jeff Burnige. Now then, let's hear from Ellis Barr.
Hello, Ellis here, and I'm glad to be back talking about Millwall. I know many have watched my videos, Thanks for your support along the way. It is now time to hear what all the Millwall teams are up to. Come on, Millwall!
Come on, Millwall, indeed. So, Paul Odin brings us the Millwall Romans and Pride update. Let's hear from Paul now.
Hi, it's Paul at the Millwall Romans with a little update. First friendlies last Sunday with both teams playing at home against Muswell Hill and Muswell Hill Vets team. We've played them the last few seasons. They're good friends of ours. Very, very strong sides. But I'm pleased to say that both teams come off with the win. Romans kicked off first against the first team. We were 1-0 down within the first 3 to 4 minutes. We had some trialists out from our side. We thought it was going to be a bit of a bloodbath, but everyone worked hard, everyone fought hard, defended really, really well, and kept countering on the counter-attack. It finished, it was 5-1 in the end. And for Pride, again, against the Vets team for Muswell Hill, again, some trialists in there. Again, putting a really, really good display for our first game of pre-season. Played really well and ended up 4-1. But it was a really, really lovely afternoon down there at St Paul's. Beautiful weather, a load of both teams watching each other play. Really good atmosphere. And great result for the Millwall team there from last week. That's a great start to the season. This week, I'm going to say Millwall Middlesbrough. I reckon Millwall are going to nick that 1-0. Derby Coventry, I reckon that's going to be 1-0. And Sheffield Wednesday Stoke, I would say Stoke are going to win that 2-0.
Thank you very much, Paul. The Lionesses had their only pre-season defeat at Chatham Town, and their season starts next week on the 17th of August as they face Ashford Town away from home. A 2-1 win at Carrow Road, the first since 1968. Jeff, were you there then?
I'm afraid I wasn't there.
Okay.
I was able to watch the game on the television. Last week on the Saturday night show, I forecast Millwall to win. I forecast a 1-1 draw, but I quite fancy the Millwall win. And no, let's face it, we're all impressed with what we saw. I was really, really pleased. And particularly after Femi missed what would have been the winning goal 5 minutes from the end, to go on and win it, I think it was absolutely brilliant. I'm very sorry I wasn't there.
Who stood out to you in that game for us, Ted?
Well, I've got to be honest, Myles, it's difficult to pick one out because I thought they was all so good. I thought it was such a good team performance from the way that we started, which was a little bit slow, and we defended, we dug in, we looked like, even though we wasn't playing particularly well the first 20 minutes, we looked like we was there. You was going to have to try and beat us because we weren't going to give you nothing. And then slowly got into the game, and there were so many good performances that I can rattle through a few. One in particular, I think he got man of the match from our side. Billy Mitchell, I thought was absolutely outstanding on the day. I was so pleased for Billy because he's had a few people knocking him of late, year or two, and I think he answered all them questions in that display against Norwich without a doubt. I thought Kramer, who at times I've been a little bit, I'm not sure whether he's a right back, I thought he was outstanding. The energy the guy had, he just kept going up and down. And then you got the little bits of quality with Negley. That first goal, if you look at it and the way that he took it, his first touch was absolutely perfect to put it into his place to have the shot that he did have. And he absolutely buried it. But, I think to be in a situation of pulling one or two players out is a little bit unfair because as a team, I thought all round they was outstanding against Norwich, and that is what I walked away from that game with. I was relieved because it was 57 years since the last time we beat them, so it was due. But then when Femi Aziz hit that one over the bar, I think everybody where we was, we were all saying to ourselves, it's going to happen again, we're going to lose it. But no, they went again, and they came again, and they got the winner, and it was a deserved winner. And I say, if they play like that all season, Myles, we will be there or thereabouts. There's no doubt about it in my mind.
Definitely. I mean, it brightened up my day because I was at Dartford Dulwich and we lost 4-0. So, Stan, what did you think of the tactics that we displayed?
Well, I thought we did okay. I mean, I'm given to understand that when we played, it was a 4-2-3-1. Like any system, you have to have fluidity, and that was there in abundance. To start off with, we started off okay, but we could have done better. But then I think the hoodoo over us at Carrow Road, I think, started to set in a bit. We got going. I thought we played well. The only thing I'd say about the Aziz miss, to me, that sort of chance is a bread and butter goal. Someone like Harris or Sadlier or Claridge would have put that away with no problem, right? They wouldn't have gone zooming over the bar. All right, he missed it, but in the end, it didn't matter because Longstaff scored. I noticed him when we played in the friendly against Wimbledon. Time he was playing behind the two main men, and he was feeding them, and I thought he was outstanding in that game. And when he come on, he was in a similar position again, and he took his goal well. And I think there's a player there, and there's a goal scorer there, and I think all the promise that was surrounding him, I think will all come to fruition. But no, I thought we played okay. You can always play better. The performance was good. Everyone was up. So no, I've got no complaints.
Myles, it's Jeff here again.
Yeah.
Everyone was aware of the two great finishes for the goals, but we were known last season mainly as a set piece, aiming to score from set pieces. We scored two goals from open play, and the two assists were absolute top quality. Kramer's cross for the winner, but a wonderful ball dissecting the defence from Alfie Doughty on his debut. Two great assists for those goals. That's what pleased me the most.
You make a good point, Jeff, right? Because last season and in the past, we've been well known for being direct, right? And the problem is with that, once you are that, the opposition suss you out.
Yeah.
But that's been our problem in the past. We're too direct and we get sussed out early.
But I don't think that's going to be the problem this year. No. And I really don't.
No, that's right. I agree.
There's a lot more quality on display as we see on Saturday. But what everyone was talking about coming out of the ground, which is a bit what Jeff said, there was two really quality goals that we scored. There should have been three. And the goal that we give away was avoidable. And that's the thing. We are solid at the back. We don't really give too much away. But when you look at that their goal came from our own mistake, which won't happen again, I don't think. I think it only happened because dear old Coops had been booked already and stepped out of the way of the bloke who was running down to Sargent, who was running down to shut Bender down. And he got there a bit quicker than Bender thought, I think. But, if that's the sort of goals that we give away this year, fine. As long as we're doing that at the other end with the two goals that we did score, we're going to be winning games week in, week out.
Well, absolutely. I mean, I thought our goalkeeper, and that was the first time I'd seen him, right? So I didn't know a lot about the guy. But I mean, all right, apart from, if you like, the mistake, and anyone can do them, and to some degree, it was an element of luck for the player. He got it in. But anyway, I thought his performance was fairly sound. I honestly believe that the squad of players that we've got, I think we're going to do quite well this season. I mean, I really do. I think this is probably our best chance to get into the playoffs.
The longest squad that we've had for a long while, without a doubt.
And as you say, that's right, Ted. And as you say, the quality's there, isn't it? That's the point. It's the quality.
And we got backup of good young players that are sitting there. I mean, Jeff was talking about the under-21s earlier tonight, and there was a few that went along for the trip to Newport. And are actually knocking on Alex Neil's door. He's that impressed with one or two of them that, that all bodes well. We get the players back that have been injured. As we know what it's like at Millwall, the expectation starts going through the roof. Middlesbrough is not going to be easy on Saturday at all after their, should we call it, humiliating defeat in midweek against Doncaster. It's probably the worst result for Millwall that we could have had. They won their first game, but they're going to come back having had a fleeing area from their manager, and they're going to be coming at us all guns blazing on Saturday. But hopefully we can put another performance in like last Saturday at Norwich and get at them early. But I just like the quality in the likes of Negley and Aziz is what opens up what you was talking about, Stan, the goal scoring side of it. Because with them sort of guys, what I actually felt for the first time at Carrow Road, that every time we went forward, we might score. I actually had that feeling. We felt that good at times going forward, which is something that I can't say I've really had for the last few seasons. So all bodes well for the rest of the season, hopefully.
Assists from right back and left back should not be overlooked.
Move on to that Newport game then. So Newport, was it as expected? Yes or a no, Stan?
Well, I thought it was expected. I mean, we knew it was going to be a difficult game. They weren't just going to lie over.
Mm.
And no, I thought we played okay. You know,
Yeah.
I thought so.
Jeff?
9 changes. That's quite a bit more than I was expecting. But as I said earlier, I saw from the under-21 squad that played in the afternoon that he'd taken a lot of the young lads for the trip, even though whether they were involved or not. But it wasn't a classic performance, but those games are banana skins, as 2 or 3 of the championship teams found out. You get drawn away from home to a lower league team in that round, you're in for it, I tell you. And so the result, excellent. And a home tie, which is all you can ask for in the 3rd round. So, it was a good night all round.
Was it expected? Well, of course, we're the side from the championship going there, but as we've all said, the banana skins them. Very similar sort of game in some respects to how we played against Norwich. We was under the cosh a little bit, survived it, and got better and better as the game went on. I thought there was 1 or 2 players that were not involved on Saturday that came into the team that looked like they needed time, and it looked to me like some of them were playing like they would do in pre-season because they were finding their fitness. The likes of Bangura Williams comes to mind, who I thought got better as the game went on, but couldn't quite make it to the end. But midway through the second half when we scored, from then on, it could have been 2 or 3, and we was, one quick mention of Imaku, who I thought was outstanding on the night, and thank God we've not let him go to Wickham. Thank God we're keeping him. And I just want him to carry on the way he's going so that what he does for 20 minutes at the end of a game, we can bring him out at the start of the game and he can do that for 90 minutes. Because if we get that into it, we got some hell of a player on our hands, in my opinion.
And Ted, I think Alex Neil's the manager to do that for him, right?
I think so. He's a bundle of energy, talent, Imaku. He's got such quick pace over a short space of time that he just leaves people for dead. And I don't know whether it's a confidence thing or what, but again, for the first half, he wasn't really in that game. But like he does when he comes on as a 20-minute to go sub or whatever, he comes on in them situations like that. I'm on the edge of my seat thinking, get the ball out of him because I know what he can do. But he started doing it earlier in the second half and he started being a proper thorn in their side. If we could get him to being that player for 90 minutes, we have got some talent on our hands.
I think that type of player, that explosive type of player out wide, they don't often play 90 minutes. I'm thrilled with his performance because he could have laid on 3 goals at Newport.
He could have had 3 goals himself, Jeff. Made some outstandings. And they just all seem to be from Idemo. But listen, I was really impressed with that performance of these, and you just know come Saturday he won't start because I can't see the team being different from the Norwich team. But him sitting on the bench gives you hope if it's not going your way because the guy can turn people inside out. So, very impressed with him.
Tell you, I thought we had an outstanding player on Tuesday night, and it's the first time I've seen him in the first team.
Grant, yes, very good.
Yeah, now, I thought he was outstanding.
Yeah, I thought against that, he got better as the game went on. What I mean by that,
absolutely,
he was doing his defensive part of it, but then all of a sudden, he seemed to have the confidence in him to start bringing the ball forward as well. And I was very, very impressed with him because I must admit, I was wondering, not why they've given him a long contract or signed him, but I was looking at him and thinking, as you do, you got Tanganga in front of him and Cooper and that. Will he really come into their shoes and that? But on that performance, I would say yes, he can. If, God forbid, anything happens to Tanganga or Cooper and that, I think we do have more or less a ready-made replacement there that could come in. Obviously, it could be more difficult in the Championship, but I think he's the sort of guy that will, he looked like a bit of a Paul Robinson to me. Will just get his foot in there, win the ball, and do it simple.
I was pleased with his performance. I saw him play on loan at Bromley. He was there for the season and a half. Whole of last season, second half of the season before, and most of the time he played in a back 3. So I thought there was a question to be asked on Tuesday, past that with flying colours. The other one I'd like to make a note of was the outstanding save that Max Crocombe made in the first half at 0-0. Do you remember that, to his left, a really good save, which was followed by a bit of a goalmouth scramble with typically Millwall defenders putting their bodies on the line. It's good that he came in and kept a clean sheet. Everyone will be very, very pleased about that.
Right then, we have got to move on to Saturday's game. The hype's building as we prepare to face Middlesbrough this Saturday at 3 o'clock at the Den in our first home game of the 25-26 season. Rob Edwards, Middlesbrough's newly appointed head coach, was delighted with their opening 1-0 defeat of Swansea City at the Riverside Stadium last weekend, but they faced Doncaster midweek in the Carabao Cup and got absolutely battered 4-0 away from home. Back in April, Camille Negley stepped off the bench to score the winner in a closely contested match at the Den. Will he make a repeat performance, as I'm sure he'll start for us on Saturday? Or, on the bookies front, Borough are 2-1 to win, a draw is 2-1, and Millwall is 5-4 to win. Not much being given away by the bookies. So what do we all think? Are we hoping for a positive result, or could it go another way? Over to you, Ted.
I'm looking forward to the game immensely. The first home game's always a terrific one to go to. Middlesbrough, tough opposition. Like I say, they will have had a right flea in their hero after the midweek performance, but they did beat Swansea on the start of the game. So there will be some sort of element of confidence in their game. Listen, if we come out firing, from the start, I just have a feeling if we put that sort of performance in like we did against Norwich, we'll have too much for Middlesbrough on Saturdays. I'm quietly confident that it's going to be do you want to know my score? I've gone for a 2-0 win to Millwall on Saturday.
Over to you, Jeff.
Like us, Middlesbrough made multiple changes for their midweek game. I think you can just about ignore that result. I feel, we're going to give our forecast for scores, I do feel quite confident for tomorrow.
And what's your prediction, Jeff?
Millwall 2-0.
And Stan, over to you.
Don't worry about what bookies have to say. I'm not interested in what they think and what they don't think. No, I think on Saturday, if we play anything like we did against Norwich, then I think we'll be too much for them, and we're at home and it's a crowd and one thing and another. And I'm confident I think we can run out 3-1 winners.
I've got a feeling there's a great chance of us winning, so I'm going to go 2-1. I don't think it's going to be no pushover, that's for sure. But yeah, we're at home and we have that home advantage. Probably what will be a sold out game. It usually always is on the first game of the season. And yeah, I can't wait for it. 2-1 Millwall.
Right, and how do we see the two other prediction games going? First of all, Stan, we've got Derby versus Coventry and Sheffield Wednesday versus Stoke.
Derby and Coventry. I'm not convinced with Coventry at all this season so far. I'll go for a 1-1 draw, I think, for Derby and Coventry. Sheffield Wednesday and Stoke, I would say 3-0 Stoke.
Myles, what do you reckon?
Derby, Coventry. I really like some of the signings that Derby have made. I think they're going to be one of the teams that are up there this year, to be honest, Derby. I'm going to go with 2-1 Derby.
Sheffield Wednesday, Stoke?
Sheffield Wednesday versus Stoke. I'm going to go... I really want Sheffield Wednesday to win it. 1-0 Sheffield Wednesday.
Jeff?
Derby, Coventry, 1-1. Like Stan, I'm not convinced about Coventry, but I think that'll be a 1-1 draw. Sheffield Wednesday, Stoke. I think Stoke will be improving on last season, but Sheffield Wednesday will have their crowd right behind them more than they would normally with what's going on there. So I think they'll manage to hold on. That's another 1-1 draw for me.
My scores for the last two games, Derby against Coventry. Well, I'm going against you lot a little bit here because I think Coventry is going to have a little bit too much for Derby at the moment. I know what you think, Myles, about Derby, but I think it might take a little while for things to settle in. They got out of jail the other night against West Brom with their first shot on target in the 92nd minute or something, and then won it on penalties. So I've decided it'll be Derby 1 and it'll be Coventry 2. And I'm exactly in Jeff's corner here with Sheffield Wednesday. I'm hoping and praying that they will turn up in their halls and let that owner know what they all think about him, but also roar the team on. But I can't see him beating Stoke, so I've gone for a 1-1 draw as well.
Hi everyone, these are the predictions for Nick Wythe. Millwall 1, Middlesbrough 0, Derby 1, Coventry 1, and Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke 2. Thank you.
A big thank you to my old mucker, Mr. Dave Hart, who collates all the results for the Prediction League. And thanks, Dave, and I owe you a beer.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you very much, Dave. Our second guest is famed for his Facebook site, Out of the Blue, which he manages with Rob Woodford. They are also the coordinators of the Walk the Walk tours in the Isle of Dogs. Let's welcome the man who will be launching his book, Walk the Walk, at the Millwall Community Trust on Saturday, ahead of the match against Middlesbrough. Yep, it's Mike George.
Hello. Greetings.
Evening. Hello, George.
Evening, Mike.
Hello, Mike.
Hello, Jeff. How you doing?
That's Jeff, yeah.
Mike,
I'm well, thanks. Hope you're well. Looking forward to reading the book.
Living, mate. I'm living.
Mike, it's fabulous to have you join us. It must be exhilarating to join the many authors within the Millwall ranks from the past and present, such as Eamon Dunphy, Richie Sadler, Brian King, Neil Ruddock, along with fans Jim Murray, Merv Payne, Barry Stradlin, and Neil Fizzler, and many more. What drove you to write Walk the Walk?
Well, I'll tell you, actually, Jeff was one of my inspirations.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Wow. When Jeff came on the Millwall History and Heritage Tour, one of our first, might have been the first, might have been the second, he was talking to me as we were walking down the road, and then he dived into a shop and then came back again. But he was talking about, oh, yeah, I've been writing my book, you see. And I thought, wow, I had already written about 3 books. I just thought, I need to write a book about Millwall. And as the Millwall History and Heritage Tour kind of evolved, because it evolves all the time, every time we do a walk, Rob and I get together afterwards and we chat about it, and we do a lot of research between walks. So every walk is kind of different. And I just suggested to him, I said, look, I feel like I want to write a book about the Millwall History and Heritage Tour. He said, yeah, go on, do it. It's a good idea. Because obviously the Millwall History and Heritage Tour originally was Rob's idea. He asked me to do a poster or a flyer for it, which I did. And it kind of evolved from there that I got involved as well. So we both run it now. What can I write about Millwall? And obviously just doing a sort of a review of the walk we've done many times anyway. And then I looked at all the other books out there, and I could not find a book that had covered the period 1885 to 1910, which is the period that we cover the walk on, and it's the period which I concentrate on in the book. There is one other book out there. I can't remember the author's name, but he's written it in 2 volumes apparently. But when I started to have a bit of a preview and a read on it, some of the facts, I'm afraid, were a bit wrong. So I thought, right, we've got to do this properly. Towards the end of last season and throughout the summer, that's what I've been doing. That's a long answer, isn't it?
I was on the first one, really enjoyed it, and I've recommended it to loads and loads of people, and I'm going to do another one. If it's been added to and changed, it's time I came to another one. So you can expect me to... Are you still going to start from West India Quay, for example?
We will meet at a certain time, or 11 o'clock normally, on West India Quay. Was known as Blood Alley. Basically, Rob, myself, and our third member of our team, which is my partner, Chrissy White, we dive into the diner very early, get a full English breakfast in, and then casually wander out again. But we don't sort of say, right, we'll meet at the diner now. We're going to meet at West India Quay.
Well, all I can say is anyone listening who hasn't done it, you should do it. It's fantastic. As I said, I'll be doing another one, I think. And as for the book, hopefully I'll pick one up with me before the game on Saturday, provided I'm there early enough.
I'm aiming to be there just before 12 so that I can arrange a table. And then we've got some flyers, which I'm going to tape to the table, and a couple of posters, which we'll paste all around the ground so people know it's going on. Basically, people can come and get a copy of the book. I'll sign it for them. They'll give me some cash, which is nice. Unfortunately, I don't have one of these clever machines which takes cards, so it's going to be cash only, or unless people have got a internet connection and then they can do a bank transfer, but they'll have to wait until I get confirmation of the payment before they get their book. So there you go.
Mike, it's me, Stan. How are you doing? All right, mate?
Hello, Stan. I recognise your dulcet tones anywhere, young man.
Well, let me just say this in relationship to the walk, because I had done that. I found it very, very good. And when anybody talks to me about it at the ground, because they've seen it advertised and whatever. I mean, I've always promoted the thing, and as you know, when I see your things, when you're putting your posters out, I then start forwarding it round the system anyway, on top of what you'll do. So, no, that's good. And, you and Rob do a good job and on that walk. And your other half, I have to say, it's all a team effort. But anyway.
She's the eye candy of the tour. She's a damn sight better looking than Rob or I are. I'll tell you that.
That's not for me to say one way or the other. That's the best way of putting that. But I will be guided by you, Mike. Anyway, what I was going to ask you, right now, you've had a bit of a kickback from the Royal Mail since they have increased their postage. Well, there's nothing there.
I mean, don't.
And I'm asking on behalf of the many, which I'm one, if we attend the Millwall Community Trust Centre event, which I intend to do, what can we expect if we ordered our book by post? Could we please receive a copy of it on Saturday and a refund of the postage?
Yeah, you'll get a. I can't do a refund on the day. We'll sort something out, Stan. I mean, basically, you were talking about £1.50 per book.
Yeah, well, whatever it was. Yeah.
Unless you want to pay me for the postage, and then it's another £2 to me. Thank you very much.
Right, yeah. Well,
yeah, I know.
Okay. Oh, yeah, well, okay. Well, I just say I'll have me 150, but I accept you may not have it on the day, but that's fine. You can give it to me.
Well, if people give me a lot of coins, I will have, but I'm not going up there with bags of coins as it is. I'm going up with I'm actually taking a shopping trolley up there full of books, plus a great bag full of books and posters and flyers and everything else. Get
rid of the books, all right, and then end up being a walking cash point as such, if you know what I mean.
Well,
money weighing you down.
There is that, mate, and I'm prepared to lend anybody money that they want as long as they agree to compound interest of about 40%, then I'm a happy man, you know.
Anyway, I hope it all goes well on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to reading your book.
We've worked so hard on it, basically checking facts, and you wouldn't believe the number of photographs that we got handed over to us and said, oh, yeah, this is Millwall, and this is Millwall at the Lord Nelson. And I looked at it and I thought, that's a bit odd. There's a fairground in the back. You could see the crowd in the background and there was a fairground over in the far background. And I thought, surely Millwall were asked to leave the Lord Nelson ground because Mrs. McMahon, who owned the ground, wanted to put a fairground on it. So she wouldn't have built it before Millwall had left. So we had to check it with some of the guys, the historians. Dave Sullivan took one look and he said, no. He said, that's not the Lord Nelson. It's the old Crystal Palace ground, and that's a cup final involving somebody or other. So we quickly withdrew that particular photo. But, we got loads of different photos, and a lot of them turned out not to be associated with Millwall at all, you know. So it's all about doing a bit of research and stuff.
When you hear some of these stories, I mean, one game was it we was playing a game against West Ham, and it finished about 10 minutes from the end for some reason.
Yes, that's in the book.
Yeah, I mean all that, and then but anyway, stranger things have happened. Anyway, I look forward to reading it, mate.
Okay, I'm actually kind of bracing myself because having done all this research and tried to get it right, I'm expecting somebody somewhere to come around and say, you know, that story you put in the book, it's wrong. And I'm expecting them to correct me on it. But, that's the nature of the beast.
Well, that's right. You'll always get somebody if they want to look for a fault, they'll find one. But, I don't worry about them sort of people. But anyway.
Hello, Mike. It's Ted. Yeah.
Hello, Ted. You all right?
All right, Mike. Yeah, not bad, mate. Listen, intrigued. I might have to get round here if I can get a book myself. But anyway, we had Sean Daly on the show ahead of yourself tonight. And I know that with each book on Saturday will lead to a donation to the Millwall Community Trust, which is most kind of you.
What we're doing, I said that it's taken. I thought, how do we sell this? I can't stand where I used to, in front of the John Berylson Memorial, and sell things like a fanzine. It'll be too bulky. So I thought, well, what can we do? And I know, let's ask Sean if we can go into the community centre in the foyer there sit at a table and just sit behind it and flog books from there. And he said, well, yeah, I haven't got a problem with that. He said, but I really need authorisation from the club. So I then went to try and find somebody who could say yes or no, and it took about 3 months. I managed to get hold of Mark Fairbrother. He actually came out to us. We were chatting outside the main ticket office, and he came out and he approached us. And I said, oh, Mark, I've got this book that I'm writing. And he sort of looked at me like, oh, yeah, it'll never get published or whatever. So he kind of forgot about it. And then I got his connection with him on Facebook, and we chatted about it. And I said, is it possible? I said, I've been trying for 3 months to find somebody who will say, yes, you can do it. And he said, yeah, of course you can do it. Just tell Sean. So I then immediately contacted Sean and said, I've just got this from Mark Fairbrother. And I copied him into his comments. And he said, right, let's do it then. We'll do it. That's it. Sorted. And he was happy. So we've taken a while. I thought, well, if we're going to use the community centre, I mean, I know Sean is largely an unsung hero at Millwall. The work that they do is, I mean, he explained it to me one day. We were up there and he was there for about half an hour chatting, and he was explaining what happened and how it all came around. And I was going, wow, why isn't this guy sort of celebrated, much more? Because the work he's doing is absolutely amazing. And it is part of something that I'm quite used to. When I was in the army, we did Northern Ireland in my day. And one of the big exercises was called Hearts and Minds. You win over the people by hearts and minds. And of course, Millwall Football Club have been trying to get rid of this horrible reputation. Thank you, Panorama. For years. And what Sean's done has largely gone towards that in this exercise of hearts and minds to try and change people's perspective. And Sean has been really successful in doing that. So I thought, well, we ought to give something back to him. So that's why I've set the price at 12 quid. All right. And so £1 of the money that we take on the day is going to be donated to the community trust.
I, for one, might agree 100% with everything that you said there. Sean Daly should be shouted from the rooftops as far as I'm concerned, because the man's incredible. You sit there, I've had the pleasure of speaking to him once or twice as well, and he sucks you in with everything that he does. He's a fantastic ambassador for the community trust.
Absolutely. He has a bad hair problem, doesn't he? Every time you see him out and amongst the club, he's got his shirt and his tie on, and if there's a little bit of wind, his hair's all over the place.
I think I've had a bad hair problem if I've done the sort of work that he's done as well, Mike.
Yeah, well, I've solved my hair problem, mate. I just shaved the lot off.
Well, I'm in your camp, mate. It's a lot easier, isn't it?
It is, yeah. I just shine it up every now and then.
Good luck to you on Saturday. I hope it all goes really well for you, mate.
Yeah, so do I. I mean, it'll be nice. I mean, I'm taking, I think, 200 books up there. We get rid of them and people come up and say, well, I haven't got any more, but I will have some more next home game, possibly. People will be able to do the mail order thing if they must, but I've got to obviously readjust the prices slightly. I mean, this is going to be, I did consider going via Amazon and other publishers, and they all seem to want about £500 or £600 up front before they even start to promote your book or publish it. Do you know what? I'm going to do it myself. And I found the printers who are fairly local and well known to everyone, and they will do it in batches, and they basically know that the batches, it will be coming in batches. So they're like the first lot they've printed is 200, and then when they are nearly gone, I'll get another 100 done and another 100 and keep going. And until we've got, 15,000 supporters, so we've got a way to go.
Mike, it's been great to have you on the show. I would just like to ask if you could share your predictions for 3 championship games that are in Ted's Prediction League. At the end of the season,
I knew you were going to ask me this.
At the end of the season, we'll see who has the best score predicting skills of the season. You could be a winner, Over to you, Ted.
Right, here we go then, Mike. This week's games. Obviously, we start with our beloved Lions. Millwall at home to Middlesbrough. How'd you see that game, mate?
2-1 to us. Ivanovic and Coburn to score.
Yeah, that'll be it. Second game I've gone for, Mike, is Derby at home to Coventry.
I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't take a lot of notice of any other teams, really, except if they get absolutely annihilated like Sheffield United did the other day by Bristol City. I understand that Derby, I don't know about Derby. I think Coventry will do them. Coventry is supposedly one of the favourites this season. I think Coventry will probably do them, and I reckon it'll be, 2-1.
And the last game I picked is Sheffield Wednesday at home to Stoke, and I, for one, hope Sheffield Wednesday actually turn up in this game. And
I've been following the Sheffield Wednesday debacle, and it is a debacle. I mean, It makes you appreciate the chairman that we've got. That club, thanks to him and nobody else, is an absolute shambles. I'm actually surprised that they even got a team out on the pitch to start the season.
Me both, mate. Yeah.
In my heart of hearts, I would like to see them do well, but I think that they're away from home, aren't they?
No, they're at home. Sheffield Wednesday are at home.
Oh, they're at home, are they?
Yeah.
Well, Stoke have obviously got their tails up because they finished. They did very well last week. I think it's going to be. I'm going to put my neck out, and I think Stoke will do a 1-0 win.
Thanks for that, Mike.
Can I just point out that I've never won the pools? My predictions are rubber. Do they still do the pools? I don't know.
Yeah, it's still out there.
The last time I think I heard was that woman who won loads of money and said she was going to spend. I mean, in those days, the money these days that people win on various competitions is ridiculous. So I just wonder how much you can actually win on the pools now. What was it, about 3 and 6, I should think?
I remember that, Mike, because when she said spend, I went straight up to Liverpool and I never see her at all. She was gone.
As I understand it, she bought a massive great house, a massive great car, went on numerous round-the-world holidays, came back and had no money. And that was it.
Thank you very much. Some great predictions there, and thank you for joining us.
That's no problem.
All the best with your book launch on Saturday, and of course, warm wishes to you and yours.
And if anybody hasn't yet got tickets are selling quite fast. The next Millwall History and Heritage Tour is October the 11th, and I think I don't know how many tickets are left, but I know we've sold more than we've ever sold this early in the season. So if you want to get involved, you can get tickets from eventbrite.co.uk. Just type in Millwall History and Heritage Tour, and there you go.
There we go. Well, thank you very much, mate.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, see you all Saturday.
Thank you very much to Mike George there, and we wish him and the Millwall Community Trust all the best with his book launch on Saturday. We'll take a break there and hear from Phil Coleman.
Hi, Phil Coleman here. Millwall Football Club, since 1985, has had a remarkable history, sometimes not so good. From its starting point on the Isle of Dogs before moving south of the Thames to the Old Den in Coldblow Lane, then to its current location in South East 16. The club has seen many moves from its original ground location, but the club's history and traditions survive to this day and are regularly celebrated. The stands at the new Den reflect that history, with a Coldblow Lane end, the Barry Kitchener stand and the Dockers stand. Special days like the annual Dockers Day celebrate the history of the club, with former players, former teams and former Dockers attending designated fixtures. Dockers back in 1885 and up to recent times were the lifeblood of the club. My great-grandparents and grandparents were born and raised on the Isle of Dogs, where the club originated, and they moved to Woolwich, where I was born. So myself and family have much in common with the club. As a fan from the early 70s, I have my own history with the club. I was fortunate enough to grow through the ranks, from a schoolboy to the youth team to the reserves and the first team. In that time, I won the FA Youth Cup, made my debut beating the old enemy West Ham, playing alongside club legends like Barry Kitchener, before being in the team that won promotion to Division 1. Also playing alongside my brother and other great teammates and under coaches and managers along the way. As a player in 1986, I had the honour to attend the club's 100th birthday celebration meal, and more recently, I walked the walk, or its proper name, the Millwall Heritage and History Tour on the Isle of Dogs. I did it alongside Mike George and Rob Woodford, and a brilliant group of supporters, many I knew for years. The tour covered the sites, grounds, history of the club from its inception in 1885 up to when it moved to south of the river. I learned a heck of a lot about the club's history, how it was formed, who formed it, the original players and fans, the ground locations, their successes, and how the club was run, as well as visiting the area where my family originated. Mike and Rob do an amazing job on the tour, and now they've got their book out, Walking the Walk. Their book is out from 16th of August and is a must for all you Lions fans. You can pick up a copy from the community reception before the game against Middlesbrough on the 16th. I recommend it. It'll be a great read. Wishing the club and fans more success and creating more history. Bye for now.
Thank you very much, Phil. I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us Talking team of Stan Godwin, Ted Robinson and Jeff Burnige. If you're attending the Den on launch day at the Millwall Community Trust, books can be bought from midday on with cash or an immediate bank transfer. But remember, he's got to see confirmation. We're all looking forward to the next game, but in the meantime, here are a few matters of interest for Millwall fans and those interested in football.
Next week, we're making some exciting changes. There will be a Friday podcast show featuring me once again. I'm not sure about that being an exciting change, but anyway. Also with the one and definitely only Debbie Julians, along with the other half of my Prediction League team, Mr. Dave Hart, and a woman whose voice is considered the best on so many podcasts, Bethany Manctolo, as our host.
And don't forget, everyone, that our live maritime radio show on 96.5 FM on the first Saturday of each month, that's going to happen again this time at the first Saturday in September. You can catch up all these shows in the past by accessing our recordings on the podcast section of the Maritime Radio website.
Don't forget that on Sunday you can head over to the Robert Parker Stadium, Short Lane, Stanwell, Surrey. Our Millwall Lionesses will face Ashford Town for a 2 p.m. kickoff in their first league game of the season. Town will present a good test for our Lionesses, having been relegated last season. Why not go along and give our Lionesses the backing they deserve as they attempt to improve upon last season's tally?
In the meantime, tune in with the No One Likes Us Talking team as they share exciting updates from our games, whether we're on our home ground or away. You'll catch news about the Lions, Lionesses, Romans and Pride, plus stay connected with the latest Millwall community news. Enjoy all this great content on Maritime Radio at 96.5 FM or visit their website. We're also excited to connect with you on Instagram, Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, Spreaker, and your favourite podcast platforms. A heartfelt thank you to you, Ted.
Cheers, Myles.
Thank you very much, Stan.
Yeah, cheers, Myles.
And last but definitely not least, thank you, Jeff.
My pleasure, Myles.
And everyone else for tuning in, thank you. Your support truly means a lot to us. Finally, let's not forget to keep it safe on the streets out there. Good night.
Our Millwall Fan Show is sponsored by G&M Motors of Gravesend, Honda dealers and much more. Thank you.